guess what I'm trying to say is like the things that are, like always come up for artists or people doing public space, or it all falls back on what story you're telling. If you're pushing your own story over and over and over and over until it becomes accepted, or you're just a vessel kind of like telling a story of others. And I think that's more of my case. It's
What do you mean?
well, in essence of like the projects that I've had lately, right? It's like I would like to paint something, right? Like if this wasn't, if I had to, I would have probably ended up painting something different. But because I saw the need and the what it meant for the people around here, even like the believers, or whether you believe it or not, or you were raised in this religion or not. I see the power that it has and the effect on people. So it's just less for me and more of them, so you're just like the printer that printed it on the wall, and that's it. You put your little style into it. You can, like, you're the chef that put a burger, it already exists, but you just put it together, you put your flavor into it, so I mean, I guess bringing it back, it's like I know I'm kind of looping, but yeah, there's tears, like you're always gonna, like, unfortunately, anywhere you paint, you're always gonna be subjected to tears of like people, like, what work have you done, or why are you painting this, or what is your experience, or have you done something like this before? You're always gonna jump through hoops like that of like even explaining the position or that you're in, to even, if that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. Or kind of.
I mean, I want to follow up on a couple things and ask, does that lead to conflict, or has that led to conflict for you personally?
Well, it's a matter of like them respecting the mural or not. It's kind of like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, before you paint a wall, and here in Chicago, your history has a lot to do with it, like whether you were in a crew and you're now picking up spray paint, or whether you were mostly trained in a fine art studio and you're going about it the traditional way, whether you came from a mentality of like graffiti, because now you're doing this, now it's like rejecting a little bit of that graffiti. So you're always going to be stepping, or there's always some sort of conflict, right? Like me, I would just, because I'm using spray paint to depict something more traditional, right? That would probably make some of the other artists here that had been doing creative work here since like the 60s to raise an eyebrow. They're like, oh, well, he didn't do it with this, so it's kind of like what I'm alluding to. It's like, oh, well, he didn't do it with a brush, so you're always going to be subjected to things like that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds a little bit like you're in between. The older artists saying like, oh, you can't spray paint and be like a muralist in the traditional sense, and then like younger folks who are doing graffiti saying like, well, you can't use spray paint and make like beautiful fine art, you should be tagging or doing like, is that sort of in between?
That's kind of like, yeah, what I'm trying to say. It's because spray paint, graffiti, and letters. And then now with this new birth of street art, it's kind of like the child of graffiti and muralism. It's now you got artists taking more of their time, more refining fine arts, but with graffiti-ish training, if that makes sense, or mentalities.
It does. Maybe you could give us some advice as students of this stuff. We're deciding whether or not to include graffiti in the category public art that we're looking at. Should we be looking at graffiti in this project?
Public art, under the umbrella of public art, I would say yes. Because artists that came from that teachings, I mean, I came from that. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be gotten to somehow at this level. But then again, what I was doing then, it was very egocentric. So it was only to serve myself. So it's public versus private. I was doing something private, putting it in the public. I mean, there's a lot of questions to
With this question about like being a vessel, serving the public, what if a muralist just wanted to make something for him or herself that's self-aggrandizing, like a lot of graffiti? You know, like is that legit? Is that a choice that you think is fair for an artist to make?
Yeah, that's definitely a choice and a route that is respected as well. You know, like if you, because it all falls back to you honoring your voice, you honoring yourself. You know, like if you felt the need to paint a rose in your building and be 10 feet high, you know, or 10 stories high, it's something that was born from you, that you have a message to say. So I mean, yeah, you should go ahead and do it. But I mean, I guess it all falls back to honoring yourself and then just developing that voice via however it looks, but it's still falls back to honoring yourself. But I mean, going back to your database, you see, I mean, whether it's recording or not, I mean, it's tough because graffiti, it's very competitive, you know, and then as soon as you do it, it might get erased. So if you build a database that was there, then it kind of.
I mean, I'm asking for purely selfish reasons because we really do need to decide where we draw the line. Like, we can't catalog every tag in the neighborhood, but we do want to acknowledge that graffiti and public art, like as you've been saying for an hour, you know, are intertwined. Like you can't treat them as disconnected. It doesn't work.
Not well, at least. Yeah, from the places I visited, they're all heavy intertwined. It's,
Miguel, any final thoughts for us?
I mean, just thanking you guys, and I mean, it's very humbling, you know, like it's something that I didn't think that it was going to come out of, you know, even like I was telling you guys, I mean, humbled, I'm honored that you guys are even interested in talking to me about like something that to me was just like a personal project to challenge myself, to kind of like get back a little bit, you know, like to not only for me to grow, but also to kind of honor what people here honor, you know. So I'm just a vessel that did it, but you know, I just didn't think that this was gonna happen out of it.
They're lucky they found you, because this is a piece that I think I speak for all of us, really stunned us when we looked at it a couple weeks ago with the class. I mean, I've seen it many times, but seeing it through my students' eyes was amazing. So they're lucky they found you. We're lucky we found you. So thank you so much.
I'm lucky you guys are even interested to motivate me to keep finishing it.
Thanks a bunch.
No, thank you guys.